We have been looking for our purpose in life. It is a typical mindset that most of us has. It is an uncontrollable urge to prove something, like our worth. A mindset that keeps us locked in one space, continuously chasing and reaching for goals that the society or even ourselves had set. So let me ask you, have you ever been well? And when was the last time you have felt it? You see, because of constant searching for a purpose, we had buried our wellness with this load. So let me tell you a story of mine on how death scares me the most. Even at a very young age, I had experienced a crisis, an existential crisis to be exact. I still remember the first time that I got to attend a funeral. Having to visit someone's death was quite vivid. All but in mind, to see a person inside a coffin, all I thought was just it is just a Sleeping Beauty game or just a person taking a rest on a luxurious looking bed that everyone is seeing. Some of them are crying over it, and why were they sparing some time just to see a resting person, since that is what I was thinking that time. And whenever I asked about that question, all the elders would say is just the same thing. So at the age of 6 or maybe 8, when I had already understood what that is, I was scared when I found out that it could happen anytime and in any moment. It could happen to everyone, including my loved ones. Seeing that death is probably everywhere, it just hit me, having to deal with the world alone without them. As time flies on, I have changed myself on how to live life to the fullest, knowing that we are not staying here forever, so we just had to do all the things that we could, do the most of it as possible. With all the things happening nonstop, I had lost track on that worry. So that crisis and so that crisis was quite forgotten until the day that I had experienced the biggest mess messed up me, and it was around the end and the start of the month January and February of 2020, when the first report of COVID-19 positive patient have visited to Mageta City. Well, at that time, when I was listening to the news, I was shocked and I felt sudden shortness of breath while in the middle of my meal. I rushed back to my room, scared and panicked all alone. My mind was totally out of control, and I then remembered that what it said in the news is that shortening of breath is one of the symptoms of having that virus. So because of that state of mind, I suddenly my emotions were out of control. I was crying nonstop, so hard, and because of crying, it also it made my shortness of breath more worse. Are you familiar with the feeling of crying but no tears were falling down, coming out, but scared at the same time? Yes, it was hard. I had decided to get myself checked, and I was later on diagnosed with a heart defect. Hearing the result, my world just crumbled down, as if a really big earthquake just blasted in front of me. I had lost hope on myself starting that time, and I've been experiencing it for on and off for quite a week, till it lasts for months. Due to my situation, my parents had become worried, and they demand me to go back home before the situation becomes bad. I had been crying my eyes out Even I got home, and that kept on happening for months. I thought that if I could get myself home, everything would come back to normal. Since I have mistaken these anxieties as an urge of missing home, but it was not that case. I was thinking of trying therapy, but I don't want to waste money since mom needs it more for her recovery and meds. I later then decided to relax myself, far from all the things that triggers my anxiety, have a time for myself as a basis to self-healing. Putting oneself as a first priority is not being selfish. How can you do the work in making around you a better and well place when you can't do you? Finding a purpose is like an endless cycle since you have to set up a goal, then after you have achieved it, you would look for another one. I have been the type of person who loves to socialize, be around with peers, friends, family, or anyone as long as I have company. I have been doing my best in school, maintaining good grades, and joining a lot of community works. Also, doing performances in schools are just some of the things that I have invested my life while still living, just so I would have a purpose. Entertaining people around me, putting a lot of smiles and laughters in the air, just so I could content this never ending thirst to prove something. I thought that through doing all this stuff, I would suppress these anxieties, but it didn't. Because of the urge to prove something, to prove what we are capable of, we become someone who is distancing from the real us, who badly needs help and wellness. To obtain wellness, we need to be one with all of our senses, whether physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. All of that creates harmony and taking full control of ourselves. When one person is at peace, it affects the people around them. And when we all had a grasp on that wellness and peace, then we could attain the wellness that we deserve and have unity and love to unreveal. Thank you.